I'm sorry. My question is anyone going to join us after enduring 20 minutes of Robbie talking about art
history
lesson?
lesson?
Are they just like, oh my gosh, I have to go eat some popsicles? Popsicles are delicious.
Thank goodness El Puppy is here with some jokes.
Thank goodness El Puppy is here, period.
Somebody was here last, I think it was Simon and Everett maybe, had some jokes on the last one. We just never got to them.
Sorry. Robbie was waxing philosophical about art.
I get so
excited about it. I enjoyed it.
I appreciate that you enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it.
Swats it, yo! Swats it, yo. At the very least, you guys hopefully drank some water in the last one and were exposed to 4 different eras of art.
Five different eras of art in 20 minutes, you guys. You can't get that everywhere.
You can just skip art history now.
Yeah. You could skip the rest of college. You can just go to work, figure out what you want to do, and show up. And don't leave until they give you a paycheck. That's my secret to
Always
success.
look for the smiling camel. That's what I want you to do. When you look at art, look for the smiling camel.
Do you think that there is a smiling camel in every era of art?
There is.
Do you think
a lot of smiling camels.
Did Rothko put a smiling camel in one of his striped paintings?
I think his whole oeuvre might just be a smiling camel.
It's just a wink, wink,
it's
nod,
just
nod.
so like, is anybody going to buy this? And people bought it, and he was like, oh my gosh, I'm just going to make my whole career out of this.
Did Mark Rothko actually get to make money for his paintings?
I think he did, but I think he was a troubled, sad person, so even the money probably didn't pay off.
I think about poor Vincent van Gogh. We talked about some Vincent van Gogh yesterday. Yeah. Vincent van Gogh had a difficult life. He was a sad person.
Yes.
He created majestic paintings that were so unappreciated in his time that he made almost no money. And now his paintings sell for tens of millions of dollars. So he never got to experience the riches associated with his own work. Isn't that interesting?
Yes.
Yeah. Like if you add up all of the Van Gogh paintings in the world, it's hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars. What? Why are you wincing?
I mean, I think there's a cult of personality, too. Like, I think the crazy thing about art is that people...
If he hadn't been so wretched and sad, his paintings might not be worth as much now.
There were a lot of things that happened that made his paintings famous.
Yeah.
Over other people's. And that we still hold on to. I don't know.
We promised we weren't going to talk about art.
See, it's so complicated.
We're going to do fun things.
Yes.
Swats it, yo.
Swats it, yo.
Robbie Matthew theme song. Play it.
Okay, my goodness.
Play it, Shirley.
It's my name, Shirley.
Right now it is. You know where you are. You're in the right place. What?
Then we are not in the right place.
No, they're in the right place. You're just an imposter. Please go get the actual Robbie. There she is. Oh.
I almost lost my...
I cut those apples for you and you never ate them.
I almost lost my lunch.
Why did I cut those apples for you if you weren't going to eat them?
I don't like to eat on the video.
Water drinking.
Water drinking.
Get your water. Those of you who are here with us 2 hours are supposed to drink 2 glasses of water.
Prost.
2 goblets full of...
Jackety Denson.
Robbie, I drank it slow today to make you feel less conspicuous. I'll hide you. I'll hide your shame. Oh, Robbie's actually back here inventing a new machine that cuts apples by herself. All right.
It's that machine cuts apples. I was so weak and my shoulder hurt, and I made Matthew cut my apple.
I was so glad to do it for my poor, wretched, weakened friend. All right. Matthew reads
chapter 15 of Wonder Undercover.
We're getting right to it. We're not messing around.
Okay.
We're going to dive in.
Okay.
We're going to do it.
I have to switch out this thing.
Okay, fair enough. Jennifer, I'll have you know that I put you on the agenda in the last show.
I'm sorry, I didn't get to you.
I will move you to the agenda for tomorrow, okay? This is called Into the Dark, Chapter 16, Into the Dark. These chapters are a very reasonable length here at the end of the book.
Good for you.
Yeah,
good
I know. I ended on a strong note.
El Puppy had some iced tea instead.
Instead of water? That's fine. That's fine. Iced tea is fundamentally water.
It is liquid.
With a tiny bit of caffeine thrown in for good measure.
A lot of sugar thrown in, probably.
Well, not if it's not sweetened.
I'm guessing.
Don't assume.
I will guess that El Puppy was drinking sweetened iced tea.
You have to... all right. Are we ready?
We are
Chapter 16, Into the Dark. We are still at the Wonder Scout meeting.
I pushed the wrong button.
That is Jason Patterson's artwork. That is not your artwork. We need Robbie Bear's artwork.
I didn't fix the thing. Hold on.
All right, so we have just come from the library where Milton and Moxie have discovered the file stolen from the local house of history, Veronica's file, in Veronica's filing cabinet in her office, which Moxie is trying to wrap her mind around. Why is that file in Veronica's office? It makes her look very suspicious and guilty. Milton is going to get to the bottom of it, but Moxie has to go to the Wonder Scout meeting. That's where we find ourselves right now. Chapter 16, Into the Dark. The meeting begins. We listen to the song. We sing the song. We say the credo. As I requested, Tammy seems content to sit back and let me take the lead.
May I read?
Yes.
I haven't read in so long. I'm running out of opportunities to read.
Fair enough.
Okay, sorry. As I requested, Tammy seems content to sit back and let me take the lead. But before Veronica can even ask, Tracy blurts, "I challenge! Orienteer!" Before Veronica can respond, I cut in. "Excuse me, but haven't Tammy and Tracy gone first in the last 2 badge challenges? Wouldn't it be fair to let someone not named Dublinger go first tonight?" I get the double dark glare I expected. "Yes, that does seem fair," says Veronica, "and I'm assuming you would like to go first?" "Yes, if you don't mind. I would like to challenge for the scientist badge." "How exciting," says Veronica. "What hypothesis are you hoping to test?" "If you don't mind, I'd like to demonstrate while I tell you." Veronica gives me a dignified nod that lets me know she doesn't mind at all. "Everyone here knows the recipe for making meringue." I gather the mixing bowl and ingredients as I talk. Yet some of us have struggled despite having all the necessary skills. Tammy eyes me suspiciously, as she should. I've been wondering what could keep a person with the incredible focus and technique of Tammy Dublinger from making perfect meringue every time she tried. Anyone? 12 sets of earlobes are hanging on to my every word. "Science!" I say, lifting my arm majestically. "Science?" asks Veronica. "Yes!" I say. "Suppose I were to put something greasy into this bowl." I take out my tub of lip balm, dig my finger in, and smear a great greasy blob on the inside of the bowl. "What are you doing?" shouts Tracy, outraged. Next to her, Tammy smolders like an angry ember. "Science!" I say, cracking and separating 6 eggs with the grace and conviction of an Olympic figure skater spinning effortlessly at the end of her routine. I add the cream of tartar and turn on the mixer, but the meringue does not occur. As you can see, this gloopy disaster looks pretty much like Tammy's recent efforts. "Hey!" says Tammy. "Oh, it's not your fault," I say, to calm Tammy down before I lose an arm. Any chemist would say that you've been thwarted by science. However, if you repeat the same experiment with a clean bowl, I pull out the extra bowl I have brought from the kitchen for this very purpose. With the mechanical precision of a robot designed specifically to do jujitsu ballet, I crack 6 more eggs and mix up a meringue so stiff and fluffy and tall that even Annabelle would be proud. There's a collective "ooh" from all but one of the scouts. As it turns out, it is scientifically impossible for egg whites to stiffen in the presence of a greasy substance. I'm guessing that Tammy's bowl must not have been entirely clean. "I always clean my bowl," says Tammy, outraged. "Then perhaps it's possible that something greasy was deliberately placed in your bowl after you cleaned it, though I can't imagine how that could have happened." As my fellow Wonder Scouts applaud, I allow myself the briefest glimpse at Tammy, who is glaring at Tracy like a panther that's ready for lunch. "I believe Moxie just earned another twofer," says Veronica, reaching into her pouch and handing me 2 badges, Scientist and Master Baker. "Well done! Now, would anyone else like to—" "If you don't mind," I interrupt as politely as I can, "my demonstration is not quite complete. I would like to share a related mystery with my fellow scouts." "But now I want a challenge for the Master Baker," says Tammy, like the hare that finally figured out how the tortoise keeps winning and just wants to finish the race. "I'm sorry, but Moxie just used up all the eggs," says Veronica, clearly irritated by Tammy's interruption. "Moxie, why don't you tell us about your mystery?" "I have noticed that Tracy Dublinger has been unable to earn her orienteering badge, and I've been trying to figure out why. After all, she knows how to read a map. She knows how to use a compass. She has the competitive drive of a thoroughbred racehorse, and the killer instinct of a ravenous jackal, and the glistening white teeth of a well-groomed walrus, and the—" "Where are you going with this, Moxie?" asks Veronica. "My point is that it doesn't make a lot of sense that Tracy wouldn't have earned her orienteering badge by now, unless—" "Unless?" says Veronica. "Unless," say Tracy and Tammy at the same time, "unless There has been foul play, I say, widening my eyes to show just how foul the play has been. Foul play? Veronica asks. Foul play? Tammy sneers, glaring at me with fury. Foul play? Tracy hisses, glaring at Tammy with fury times 2. Even the most determined scout won't have much luck following her map if, instead of pointing north, the needle points to... To what? Says Veronica. To what? Demands Tracy. To what? Says Tammy, with the look of someone who just ate the eyeball of a trout. I pull out my compass and walk over to Tracy, who holds up her hands as if she thinks I might whack her with it. But as much as I might like to, I have a different plan. Do not worry, Tracy, I say. This isn't going to hurt a bit. Starting at the upper corner of her sash, I move the compass diagonally down the row of badges. And, just as I suspected, instead of pointing north, the needle points to Tracy's left kidney. With apologies, I say as I take out my seam ripper and remove Tracy's polyglot badge in 2 swift strokes. Hey, Tracy snarls. Eureka, I say, holding up the small but powerful magnet that was sewn in behind Tracy's badge. Mystery solved. Traitor! Shrieks Tracy, lunging toward Tammy the way a famished hippopotamus might lunge at a clump of particularly delectable grass. With instincts that rival those of a well-rested ninja, I grab the potted plant and halfway lift it, halfway slide it, and halfway throw it into the rapidly closing space between Tammy and Tracy. Wow, I wonder what happened in our...
Yeah, something crazy happened there.
Happened. Rather than bothering to run around the plant, Tracy attempts to jump over it, which goes badly for Tracy, and even worse for the plant. By the time Tracy herself gets herself untangled, all the fight seems to have left her. I wonder if that was the kind of strength that would qualify for the Mighty Badge, I say, to no one in particular. Nice try, says Veronica, but even that is not the kind of strength the Mighty Badge is all about. Are you finished with your demonstration? She asks, in the astonished sort of voice one might use when poking one's head out of a cyclone shelter after a tornado has passed. Not quite, I say, placing my hands on my hips, leaning back a little and letting out the loudest, longest, most confident, and root beer-smellingest belch in the history of belches. The only way in which it falls short of the least ladylike belch of all time is that it does not ring the wonder bell. What do we think, Scouts? Does Moxie's belch qualify for... But Veronica doesn't even finish her sentence before a collective yes fills the room. If you will excuse me for a moment, I say, the last part of the demonstration is proving that Tracy's map and compass work just fine. Is the cache in the same place it was last time? Yes. In that case, I'll be back in a jiffy. Before Tracy can realize what's happening, I grab her map and compass and race out the back door. I plunge into the night. Matthew just did another not quite silent burp.
Thank you for updating everybody on that important information, Robbie. I'm not going to get a badge for it, though.
No, that was a delicate, quiet...
It was very ladylike.
...burp. It is very dark, and I suddenly realize that this is a terrible idea. But then I remember Milton's tiny but very bright flashlight, which he lent to me to use in this precise moment. A Wonder Scout is always prepared, I say to myself. I make my way through the darkness, focusing only on my map and my compass, and my mission, trying not to think of the lizards and snakes and beetles and bats that inhabit the soccer fields of Tiddlywump. Not to mention the goblins and werewolves and zombified mummies. The coordinates are directing me toward an enormous shape at the far end of the field. One that looks worryingly like a 3-headed 11-armed ogre. But I cannot, must not, and will not turn back. I feel the warmth of Hilly's hand squeezing mine in the dark. I hear the comforting strength of Veronica's voice. You, Moxie McCoy, are capable of astonishing things. But there, in the darkness, the words make no sense, so I say them out loud. I, Moxie McCoy, am capable of astonishing things. It helps a little, so I say it again, and again, and again. Eventually, a funny thing happens. Eventually, I sort of start believing it. I shine my flashlight on the enormous shape. It is not even a 1-headed, 2-armed ogre. It's an eastern cottonwood, and there, in the crook at the base of the trunk, is a little metal box that contains the orienteering badge. I race back across the field on lightning feet, certain that I am being chased by 7 hungry goblin kings. My moment of bravery seems to have expired. But then I see warm light shining through the community center windows, and my heart lifts. A moment later, I am back inside, triumphantly holding up the badge. Moxie earns the orienteering badge, and the detective badge, and the loudest belch. So, is this a threefer? Asks Hilly. It is, says Veronica. Amazing! Everyone is cheering except Tammy, who continues to sulk about the lack of eggs, and Tracy, who is demanding to challenge for the orienteering badge herself, only to learn from Veronica that she can try again on Wednesday once a new cache has been hidden. I stand there, surrounded by my fellow scouts, feeling an excitement that's bigger than myself. It's a moment so perfect that nothing can possibly ruin it, which is why it's so upsetting when I hear Veronica say, "Hello, can I help you?" Followed by Henrietta Bork saying, "Doesn't that boy kind of look like that pizza guy?" I turn, and there's Milton with a look that means nothing but trouble.
Dum 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 dum
Dun, 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 dun.
You guys, we are getting so close to the end. I'm very excited. Thank you, Robbie, for doing a wonderful job. You guys, Robbie does a wonderful job.
I love reading out loud, you guys. I wish that could be my job. Sometimes it is my job.
Sometimes it is.
I love reading out loud.
I'm so glad. I can see your evident joy. You know what is left on the agenda?
No.
Nothing.
I don't even know what time it is.
All we have left is, what does that say? Lively banter.
Lively banter.
And jokes.
Okay.
So, we have, oh my gosh, we've got 12 minutes for lively banter and jokes. You guys better throw jokes at us, or this is going to get really awkward. Or we could look at Jennifer's art. I mean, I'm just saying, that's another thing we could do.
Yes.
Let's look at Jennifer's art. Okay.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
I think.
Can you find it again? I sent you an email.
Yes,
It's a PDF. Okay.
Oh, I need my keyboard. I need my keyboard. That's what's happening. See, I was prepared, and now I'm unprepared again. Okay. File. Open recent file. There we go. Okay. Here we go. So I'm going to show you Jennifer's favorite art. So Jennifer sent us some things to show you guys. I suppose this could be included as homework. I feel like Jennifer doesn't qualify for homework being an adult, but you know what? Maybe she does.
What do you mean? Of course she does.
Maybe she does.
Jennifer is perhaps the single biggest contributor of content to the show.
That is true.
Please, before you show this, I would like to read something from Jennifer.
Okay.
Which is, on the off chance that you need some art to prompt conversation this week, feel free to share. If not, that's okay too. Rubbish, Jennifer. When you send us content, we share it freely on this show. I am a fan of a wide assortment of art, visual and performance art. My taste runs the gamut. That means she has a wide variety of things that she likes. But specific to visual art, I'm enormously fond of the Masters and French advertising posters. Ooh. But what I've included here is the work of a local Maryland painter. I own one of the prints. A photographer whose work is published in books and often used in advertising. I own one of her books. And a gigantic sculpture that I find profoundly compelling. I have physically visited this work more often than any other art installation. This work makes me feel, which is probably the root of why art in any form exists. Jennifer, that's a really important thing. Art makes you feel. Sometimes art makes you feel, holy cow, how did the artist do that? Sometimes it makes you feel, oh, what a beautiful image. Sometimes it makes you feel, why is that camel doing that?
Yes.
And sometimes it makes you feel, oh my God, that's the dumbest thing I've ever seen. The artist wants to provoke emotion.
Yes.
Okay? The artist wants to make you feel, and it doesn't always want to make you feel good. Some art wants to make you feel bad.
Yeah.
Because it's trying to point to a problem that it wants to make you aware of. So, anyway, Jennifer sent us a painting.
So,
all right?
Here we go. Here's the first one. Ready for the Snow by George Lucas. He's a current...
George Lucas?
I know.
Oh my gosh.
Not the George Lucas. Calm down, Star Wars
That's rough.
fans. All of the fan clubs that are the Star Warses. This is a different George Lucas. I'm guessing it's a different George Lucas. This George Lucas lives in Gaithersburg, Maryland. This painting is from 2016.
Look at that, though. That's awesome.
It's a painting of milk and toilet paper and bread.
Why? Why do we think that?
Why do we think that?
It's a still life. A still life is a kind of art where the artist assembles a variety of objects that may have nothing to do with each other, but usually with different textures, right? Different shapes, and then paints them.
I mean, sometimes they're all the same. The idea is you set up a little tableau
Yeah.
and you paint it. So, when I saw this still life painting by a local Maryland artist, I bought a print and it hangs in my home. This image is a nod to how the Mid-Atlantic, that's our area, reacts to pending storms.
That's the theme. That's the through line here.
Yes.
When there's a storm coming, you get milk, bread, and toilet paper.
Everybody freaks out and runs to the store and buys milk and bread and toilet paper. And if you're late, like we are, the shelves are empty. And you don't get any milk or bread for the storm, which usually doesn't happen.
All right.
So that's, but it's a beautiful painting. There's something very
Still,
quiet about it.
yeah.
And that's why it's called a still life.
And look
I
how
guess.
soft that toilet paper
Yes.
looks. And look how smooth that plastic looks.
And shiny.
It's not hyper realistic, and yet something about the way the painter put the paint on the canvas makes.
I'm always impressed by that kind of by the skill of painting.
Yeah.
So
Because if you look at it up close, you guys, it doesn't look anything like a
it's
plastic
sort of
bag.
mushy, yeah.
But if you look at it from this far away, it totally looks like a
amazing.
plastic bag. It's amazing. Yep. Okay.
Plastic what?
Blag.
A plastic bag.
That's like a bag, but it's different. Now, here's this is where I cry foul. Okay,
What?
read it, and I am going to make a comment.
Okay, art comes in many forms. This is photography by Jill Greenberg. She has done collections on animals and crying babies. When I see her work, it always makes me feel something.
I do not believe that one on the left is a photograph. It does not look like a photograph. It looks like an animation. It looks like something that was drawn.
I love that mouth.
I think this might be a photograph that someone heavily manipulated with Photoshop, but that face, you tell me if you disagree. It does not look photographed to me.
Well, it can still be a photograph and heavily manipulated.
Okay, well, it looks
I
like
don't
it
think
was
it's-
Photoshopped on, is what I'm saying.
I disagree. I think
Okay.
it's probably a real photograph.
Wow.
And I think that one of the things that photographers do is they use light and mostly they're manipulating light because photographs are really light captures, right? You're capturing light onto film.
Wow.
So I think, yeah.
Look at the expression on that monkey on the right.
I mean,
It looks like
both of those are amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, they make you think that monkeys probably don't belong in zoos.
Probably not, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So thank you,
Yes.
Thank you, Jennifer. And look at this. This is so cool.
This is so cool.
All right.
So this is The Awakening by J. Sword Johnson. Originally on display at Haynes Point in D.C. and now at National Harbor. Oh, so we could totally go see that.
National Harbor?
Yeah.
Seriously? Cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it is. I'm going to move us out of the way
All right.
because we're in the way here.
Okay.
It's a 72-foot statue of a giant embedded in the earth struggling to free himself. Look
Wow.
how cool that is.
Well, look at the people for scale, too,
yes.
right? That's really neat.
That is amazing.
All these different pieces work together to create the illusion that something is coming out of the earth. And
That's
that
super cool.
most of it is still below the earth. That's
Yes.
what's really cool about it.
Well, so the interesting thing about it, yes, which Matthew just said, but I'm going to say in a different way, is that we actually we can't see just the arm and not think of it as being attached to the rest of the body. We wouldn't think that that's just an arm sticking out. We have extended the art to below the earth in our brains. Our brains are connecting these things together. It's not just a hand, a different person's head, a different person's arm, a different person's leg, a different person's foot.
And in fact, the more pieces that are there, the
Yeah.
more likely it is that we're going to see it as one whole thing.
Right.
If it was just an arm coming out of the earth,
Right.
we'd say, oh, that's a cool sculpture of an arm.
Yeah.
But when you put the other pieces, it
Yes.
starts to create an image in your mind.
So we have built the connections in our brain between this arm and this hand and this head. And so the canvas is actually not just the pieces of sculpture itself, but the ground and the underground.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's very cool.
Yeah.
All right. All right.
okay.
Thank
So,
you.
now-
Well, it's time for jokes.
It's time for jokes.
time for jokes.
Several people have requested you get out your guitar.
I will sometime
which
this
is
week.
always my favorite.
I'm not gonna do it today. There's
He's
not enough
doing
time.
that.
I would waste too much time going to get it at this
One
point.
person, I think Everett is happy that you're not playing the guitar.
You know what? Not everybody can like everything.
Oh,
my
and
art,
Simon as well.
my
Simon and
art is an acquired taste,
are
you
not
guys.
fans
I
of your guitar
refuse.
playing.
I refuse to take that personally. Okay.
Yeah,
Mark
well-
Rothko does not get upset when someone
somebody
comes like,
says,
"What's up with the
"What's up
stripes?"
with your paintings?
No.
Yeah.
No. And I also will not judge you for the tastes that lead you to not be able to appreciate my guitar
I
playing.
also
Yes.
think that you would fully acknowledge yourself that you're not the best guitar player.
No, I think that what
it's
I'm
not really about
offering
the
you
guitar.
is not the guitar. The guitar is not the crux of the art.
Yes.
It is just one wobbly leg of the stool that is my musical expression. All right, joke it up, Robbie Bear.
Joke it up. All right, you ready?
Yes.
Oh, you have to have some knowledge of. Luckily, we just watched these movies. What's Thanos' favorite app to talk to friends with?
Favorite app to talk.
So, Thanos, this is from. Please explain the joke.
This is from Infinity War and Endgame from the Marvel Avengers story cycle.
Had to
his favorite app to talk to friends with. Facebook, Twitter, WhatsApp. There's the Infinity Gauntlet. It's Infinity Gauntlet. I don't know.
What does he have to do with the Infinity Gauntlet?
He has to put it on his hand.
And do what?
And snap his fingers. Snapchat.
Yay!
Oh, all right. Whew.
So if you haven't seen the movie, it's fun.
Okay. All right.
That was
was
an insider.
that was a little bit of work.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All
Okay.
right.
Why did the daddy rabbit go to the barber?
Because he had too much hair. He had too many hairs.
Yeah.
He had too many baby hairs.
He had a lot of little hairs.
He had a lot of little hairs. Okay. In fact, rabbits do not have baby hairs. Hares have baby hairs.
Oh, yeah. Rabbits are different from
they're
hares.
different species.
Yeah.
But for the sake of the joke, I'll go there with you.
We'll let it pass.
All right.
What game does the sky love to play?
What game does the sky love to play? Airball.
Is that a game?
Sure. Cloud Capers.
That sounds like a fun game, Matthew.
Rainbow Romp. What is it?
Wow, Rainbow Romp.
What? What's wrong with that?
Is that a real game?
Yes.
It is?
Sure. What is the answer to the riddle?
Twister!
Oh, because there's
twisters in the sky.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
I'm not going to be hard on myself for not getting that one.
That was a little tricky.
A little bit of a stretch.
All right. Well, this is interesting.
What?
I think that this
Is there a joke?
Okay. Maeve or Maris.
Okay.
I'm not sure which one it is. Please rewrite your joke with the answer, or is the joke that there's no answer? I'm not sure.
What?
So write it in right now.
What?
Okay. And then, ma'am.
Oh, okay.
This involves me and Maeve and Maris.
Okay. I thought you were giving me something I had to respond to.
I'm not telling you the joke.
Please rewrite your joke with okay,
yes,
all right.
Okay, Maeve and Maris, please rewrite your joke in the bottom with the answer in it.
Okay.
Unless
there is no answer?
Right.
Don't give me a joke with no answer. That will drive me wild.
Okay.
We have 1 minute left, Robbie Bear.
What app weighs very little? These are all app jokes.
What app weighs very little? Sweeter than air? Face blight? What other apps?
Face blight. That would be a great app. Face blight, you take a picture of yourself and it just grows stuff on your face.
Instagram?
Yes, very good. Instagram.
Because it's what? Lighter than air?
It weighs very little.
Instagram. Just 1 gram.
Yeah.
Instagram. Okay.
All right.
All right.
What city does lichen grow in?
Lichen. Massachusetts?
No, but that could just as well be. Except that it's not a city.
I know, but it was a geographical place. What's making that delightful sound?
My phone.
Oh.
It's 2:00.
Robbie's trying to get rid of you. She wanted to make sure we didn't stay a minute past. I don't know. What city starts with...
Moscow.
Oh, I was thinking of American cities. See how American-centric I was? Jeez. Moscow. Got it.
All right.
All right.
Okay, so here's the joke.
Okay.
From Maeve and Maris.
Okay, I'm ready.
What do you get when you cross a joke with a rhetorical question?
Oh my gosh. That's very complicated. Something with no answer?
Yeah, there actually is no answer to the joke. You're just going to have to guess forever.
Okay, tell me what the answer is. Oh, there's no answer. There is no answer.
Because a rhetorical question...
Hey, I sniffed that out, didn't I? I did. I didn't go there. I didn't fall into your trap, Eminem.
I don't know. I feel like you fell into the trap.
No.
You were trying to answer it.
For about half a second till I realized that a rhetorical question has no answer.
Yes, I gave you lots of hints, though.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Watch out, or I'm going to start playing the guitar just to make Simon Everett squiggle. Yes. All right, friends.
All right.
Been nice seeing you.
That is it for today.
Yeah, we'll see you tomorrow.
I hope that you learned nothing about art.
Yeah.
No, I hope you learned lots of things about art.
Or at least one thing.
But don't hold it against me for rambling on about it because I get so excited about it.
You can hold it against Robbie if you want to.
True.
But
true.
to your own detriment.
Right.
Because Robbie was full of knowledge today. She was full of passion.
I don't know if I was full of knowledge.
One of the things that is, to me, most compelling is hearing people talk about the things that they
they're
love.
Excited about.
People could talk about the most boring things, but if they do it with conviction and excitement,
I agree.
It's interesting.
But you guys might disagree and think that I was super boring.
But that's, you know what? We actually don't care because we had fun, and this was our art today.
Yes.
All right?
All right.
All right, friends.
Bye, everyone. We will see you tomorrow.
Goodbye.
What's happening tomorrow?
Tomorrow's Wednesday.
Tomorrow's Wednesday.
That's all that I know
Yes.
about what's happening tomorrow.
All right.
All right.
Bye, guys.
Bye.